Welcome. Hi. Come in. We're happy to have you this afternoon. I think there's one thing that's really important, and that is how beautifully the Reeds built with such detail. The house is Italian, and they've done a lot of painting in the ceilings, and the beautiful tile work on the floors were imported. The tile was imported from Italy, and it's just magnificent. Every detail is more perfect than the next. The turret is very, I think, dramatic. The rug on the floor was delivered with a crane through the front door, and it has not been off this floor since it was delivered in 1928. And in addition to that, the piano is a parlor grand piano, which is smaller than a baby grand, but certainly large enough for this room. And it is original, again, with the house, as is the sofa, and actually all the gold chairs in this room.
Welcome, and take a step back in time to 1929, when Leonard and Lucy Smith moved into this beautiful Hollywood Riviera home. You're standing in the original portico. You could hear the sounds of a fountain then. If you turn right around, you'll see this fountain. Look at this beautiful tile, Malibu tile. Going up the staircase, they can sit out on that balcony right off of the master bedroom and see straight out to the ocean.
Hi, we're here now at the Dr. Smith Odom home built in 1929. It's a gracious, beautiful home that the Odoms have restored and refurbished, and I think you're really going to enjoy looking around, and I'd like to introduce Karen Odom.
Well, this is our dream home. We bought it in 1995. I think what brought us to the Riviera in 1974 were the old Spanish houses. So we finally got one, and we've been restoring it since then, so 16 years, and we've tried to restore it as much as possible to the original and keeping all the architectural features and then making it modern enough to be functional today. So some of the things in this entry are the original light fixture, the hand-hewn beams, and these are all hand stenciled. And then we had all the stair risers hand painted to match the colors that they had used in the stenciling. This is the original formal living room, has all high vaulted ceiling hand-hewn beams, again with the original stenciling on the two major beams that go across. Two sets of French doors that open to the courtyard. Hardwood floors throughout the entire house. And some of the nice features that these homes had were built-in bookcases, and we had this new one made. I think this is one of the coolest features of the house. It originally was probably just a closet, but at some point someone turned it into a little wine cellar. So I think it's charming, and it has the beautiful iron gates on it. So we love this part too. This is the kitchen. We did go with modern appliances. So we've got the Viking, we've got the KitchenAid, but I had the hood designed so that it would still look old. And this is our family room. We believe it was a covered patio originally, and it was enclosed sometime in the 30s or 40s. The sconces are original to the house. These are antique church doors and stained glass windows that open to the backyard. We added the jacuzzi and then all the grass. We added the fireplace and designed it to look as if it's been here the entire time.
It's really interesting to see come into the houses that I used to ride my bike by and walk by on my way home from school. I used to go to school down at Parkway, which was right down the street from here. I live in Hollywood, so I kind of know the Hollywood Riviera, Hollywood connection, and so I haven't been that familiar with some of the specific details of the architects and the construction, but I knew that they built this as a resort community for the Hollywood set.
So Clifford F. Reed, as I mentioned, was the developer of the Hollywood Riviera, and he used to do a lot of traveling. So he went to the French Riviera and he went to the Mediterranean, and with that he brought back that architectural sense of style. So in the original CC&Rs, you could have like one of 5 shades of white, and you had to have your red tile roof. And the way they used to make that red tile is they would put it over their thigh. That's how they shaped those things.
These tiles were original, but all of the roof tiles have been taken off of the house and cleaned, put back together after we resealed the roof. So our house was built in 1926, started in 1926. The home was finished in 1928, and it was the second home to be started in the Hollywood Riviera and the first home to be completed. The house has a lot of unique features as it was built during Prohibition. We have a speakeasy window in the front.
This house was unique because it was the model home for Hollywood Riviera in the 1920s. So there are a bunch of different architectural details that are unique from all the other homes, because they wanted to be able to offer every option that was available to the homeowners that were buying the new homes. One of the features here, you can see the iron gates, and then there's ironwork original throughout the house, along with the stenciling. When we went along with furnishing it, we try to bring in unique pieces such as the giant chair that you see in the living room through the iron gates in there.
One of the things that we really loved about the house was that it was all original when we bought it. So the dining room basically looked like it did today, other than that it had a large TV set back in one corner and a sofa in the other. So we went back and restored it, made it back into the beautiful dining room that it once was in the 20s.
There's 2 frescoes in the sunroom, and they both depict the view from the 1920s, with the view that this house had. The house was originally on 9 acres, so it has the view looking down up on the ocean to the Palos Verdes Peninsula. So this is one of our favorite spots of the house. It's an outdoor sitting area off of the dining room. We pretty much kept the integrity of it with the wood beams and the wall, but we added the benches, the tile, and the stairs to kind of keep with the theme of the home. Oh, we're having a great time today. We've had a lot of people through. Everyone's having a good time. They love the house, so it makes me happy.
We've been here 34 years, which is the longest that either one of us have ever lived in one place. And of course, this type of home, the Spanish Mediterranean, has always been a favorite. I marvel at the things that you couldn't reproduce, like the painting on the ceilings. In this house here, that's the original, never been touched. But if you look at it, I don't think you could find anyone that could do that type of work today, or would do it for less than a fortune. But yes, we're enjoying it.
And you can see where there's no houses anywhere in sight and nothing in front.
They used to have a fantastic ocean view before all the new tract homes were built.
The living room has all the flavor of the Spanish colonial style, with the arched entry, arched front windows, doors opening out to the courtyard. The shape of the fireplace is original, but the present homeowners have replaced the tile. The 2 small windows on either side of the fireplace are original. Of particular importance are the preserved stenciled ceiling beams.
We just always wanted a Spanish home down here in the Riviera, so that's what attracted us. And at the time we had 5 kids, so we needed the larger home.
There was a fireman that came by, right? And he was here, he lived here as a kid. He told me the real truth, and especially about the pool back here. He and the kids in the neighborhood would get up on the garage and jump off the pool. He's a risk taker, that's why he's a fireman. He's still alive.
By the window, that's all I do. No one turns my doorknob, don't ring my phone. They all know that you're gone, so I'm alone.
And the original owners, this is their beach house. They
Let's have another home. So it's lovely. It's decorated beautifully. Thank you.
All right, this is the Wallace house. Ron and Sheila Wallace purchased this house in 1973 from the original owner, the Stewarts, and have lived here ever since. And they have really kept a wonderful eye on retaining all the early California features of the house while combining a lot of beautiful art pieces here, so that it's really a feast for the eyes.
Right here used to be a maid's quarters, and that's what that bathroom used to belong to as well, the maid's quarters. No more maid, but still part of a maid's quarters, and so they added, everything kind of flowed when they added this room on. Everything flowed, the walls and the tile on the floor, and it worked out real nicely going out into the backyard. They laid all those bricks themselves as a couple's project, I guess. Hopefully it went well. And obviously they were collectors. They loved to sail and collect knickknacks, and they bought that table for $25 before they got married and kept it all this time. And it was already an antique when they bought it, so they had it restored, so they figure it's somewhere around 125 years old, but it still serves the purpose, keeping the family together for meals and so on.
As you can see, she loves her little birds, which are Finnish, little Finnish birds. She has several of them. Her angels.
What? Oh, so that instrument, they have a bunch of collections in this room, and that instrument is one of them. It's called a theorbo. It's from the Renaissance period. I think it's like from the 13 or 1400s.
They have a third of an acre here, and so behind the patio is an original avocado tree that has been growing since 1928-29, and they have a lot of fruit trees back there too. So
I'm just peddling people wherever they want to go for whatever they want to pay. I know where all the houses are. I've had a lot of fun, done 23.14 miles today.
Hi, I'm Karen Lent with the Riviera Garden Club, and it's my pleasure today to be at the Odom Martis house and to show you this beautiful home. The architect was C.S. Argenbright that did most of the homes that are on our tour.
Our home was built in 1929, and it included this property and the property next door, which was a vineyard for the couple that lived here. And we still have a lot of the original architecture. This room is original. The ceiling is all original paint, and even the orange and green colors up there are original from 1929. The fireplace and the tile around the fireplace are original. The bench right here is original. That's original tile work. The windows are original to the home also. We kept a lot of the original windows. In this room, we raised the ceiling to match the ceiling in the other room and opened up the kitchen, added the big beam, and we didn't change the original structure of the house, we just updated it. This is the original balcony and woodwork that was part of the house in 1929. And there's the other house that was the vineyard for this house. This was a portion of the garage door that we had converted into a table. These were the doors that slid across. Courtyard out here is the original to the house. We just added the fountain. And this room is all original, all the original windows. And we didn't change any of the structure in this room. We did add the bathroom. That's the bottom of the bathroom that's upstairs. And then here's the master room. Again, those windows are original. Again, we didn't change any of the structure in this room. We knew we had to have this house because of this yard. Because look at all this space for our kids. Yeah, and trust me, they have used it. We have used it. This is original to the home also. It's like a little party room, I guess. The only thing we added was the fountain. The fountain wasn't here before. And we updated the counter. But the counter was there, we just updated it. And that fireplace was original. This room is all original. We didn't do anything, just added some lights, and the beams were here, the fireplace was here, that's the Palos Verdes stone. Oh, all these windows are original. We love it. We love it. So perfect.
Hello, I'm Susie Brogue, the homeowner, and I would like to have you come into our home and maybe see one of the first fun features of the house, which is the speakeasy door. Well, they might be partaking in libation that was prohibited. And this is actually one of the 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 panels. And as far as we know, it's never been touched, maybe just a little bit of lacquer here and there. This was a bookcase, and it was a revolving bookcase, as I understand, that it went across, right across here. And then when the people wanted to come in and use the speakeasy, the bookcase would revolve, and then behind here was the little bar area. Of course, the bar is not as it is today, but there was apparently an actual sink there and a little bar area. So he put the windows in here and made them, so in the summertime when it gets warm, we can open this up. In the wintertime, it kind of keeps a little bit of the draft from coming through. So it's really a pass-through. One of the main features of this house is we have frescoed ceilings. First fresco is in the entranceway, up in here. As far as we know, they have never been touched, as far as maybe just touched up. And then up into the second level, there's another different set of fresco ceilings up here. And then another one of the features is the tiles that are on the steps here, on the face of the steps. And I'm not sure, they are either Catalina tile or I think it's Mission tile, but I'm not really sure, but these are the original tiles. This has kind of an interesting effect in here with a, looks like we have horse and bird and coat of armor. The windows, well, they are actually, I think that they're known as the Coke bottle windows, but they're all original. They've never been touched, or we haven't had any problems with them in the 30 years that we've lived in the home. And they just open up. We don't really use them for ventilation. It's not necessary, but they're working windows. We've got 2 sets of these here. We think at one time this was actually a sunroom area. And then we have the slope ceiling in here. And 3 sets of windows that have, we replaced these windows, I would say about 10 years ago. And then there's a little bookcase around here on this side, which is kind of a fun little area here. The architect was a C.S. Argenbright. He was the architect of the house, and he actually lived in this home in that time that he built it. I'm not sure how many years he lived here, but for a while he lived here. He was an architect, a very prominent architect in Los Angeles, and he designed this home, lived here, and several other homes that will be on the tour also.